All right, welcome back. Today, we're diving into something huge, a concept that I think everyone has wondered about, cosmic justice. You know the feeling, right? Why do some really good people get the short end of the stick, while others seem to get away with everything? Well, we're going to look at a pretty wild idea today. What if justice isn't a person at all? What if it's a program? I mean, think about it. We've all seen this play out. Sometimes a little act of kindness gets this immediate, wonderful reward. But then you see these massive, systemic injustices that just linger for generations with seemingly no consequences. It all feels so random, so chaotic. But what if it's not? The sources we're digging into today say it's the total opposite of random. They point to a very precise, very calculated system. And if you can wrap your head around how it works, well, it changes pretty much everything.
Okay, so to really get this, we kind of have to do a full mental reboot. I mean, delete the old files. Forget everything you picture when you hear the word justice. You know, like some all-powerful judge sitting on a throne. The core idea here is that cosmic justice isn't a who, it's a what. It's this massive, totally impartial operating system. Just a program running its code. That's it.
And listen, we're not talking about just any old computer program here. This is like the source code for reality itself. It's all governed by what these texts call the Tao. You can think of it as the natural fundamental order of the universe. And get this, it's all happening within a holographic universe. Now, what does that mean? It means every single tiny piece reflects the whole thing. So nothing is truly separate. No action, no matter how small, ever goes unnoticed because it's all interconnected. There's literally no way to opt out. You can't escape the system.
And this right here, this really gets to the absolute heart of the matter. The program doesn't care if you're sorry. It's not going to listen to your excuses or your pleas for mercy. It has one job, and one job only: execute the code based on the input it receives. It just follows procedure, perfectly, impartially, every single time. Your good intentions, they don't even factor in. All that matters is the action itself.
So you can see why we get so frustrated with it, right? As humans, we expect justice to have a heart. We want it to understand our feelings, to show mercy when we're remorseful. But the cosmic reality? It's a system of pure, cold logic. It's a supercomputer, not a compassionate friend. It's just following its programming without any emotion at all. And that cold, procedural nature, that is the secret to understanding why its timing can feel so, well, so strange.
Right, so if it's all just a program running, then what's with the delay? Why doesn't everything happen instantly? Well, this is where we get into what we can call the timing variable. See, the system doesn't have just one speed. Its processing time is totally dependent on the scale of the action.
And this is the big question, isn't it? This is the key we're trying to unlock. The delivery date for the consequences isn't some fixed thing. It's on a sliding scale, and it all depends on the ripple effect of the action. So let's take a look at how this cosmic program actually does the math.
So here's the core logic laid out. It's pretty simple, actually. The bigger the ripple effect, the longer the processing time. Think of it like this. A small, personal lie between two people, that's like the system processing a tiny text file. It's super fast. But a huge, systemic injustice that affects millions of lives? Whoa. Now we're talking about rendering a massive, incredibly complex 3D world with billions of polygons. The system just needs way more time to calculate all the variables before it can spit out the final result. Let's start small, with what this system sees as a narrow scope event. Say a conflict between you and a friend. There are very few variables, right? The impact is pretty contained. So the program can process the outcome really quickly. This is why sometimes we actually do see justice happen pretty fast, maybe within just a few years, right within our own lifetimes.
Okay, but now let's scale up. Think about a broad scope event. We're talking about a national policy, or even a war. The number of variables is just astronomical. The system can't possibly deliver a final judgment until every single domino has fallen. And I mean every domino, across generations. It has to wait for the entire massive chain reaction to play itself out completely. And that, right there, is why justice on a societal level can take decades or even centuries to finally show up.
All right, now we get to the most mind-bending part of this whole system. What happens when the karmic debt is just too big? I mean, too big to possibly be repaid in a single human lifetime. Well, you guessed it, the program has a protocol for that too. It's called the ultimate ledger.
According to the material, there are basically two main paths for this final resolution. On one hand, you have actions that are based in love. Those positive actions are what determine whether a soul ascends or descends on its overall spiritual journey. But for the negative stuff, for the actions that create a debt that's left unsettled, the system solution is reincarnation. You simply come back to settle the score. It's the ultimate mechanism to make sure every single account is balanced to zero.
You know, maybe this is the most powerful way to think about it all. The system isn't really a judge passing sentence. It's more like a perfect, flawless mirror. It just reflects back whatever you put in front of it. If you put respect into the system, respect is what you get back. If you put mockery in, you get mockery back. Your input becomes your output. It's a perfect one-to-one reflection of cause and effect.
And that leaves us with a really powerful final thought, doesn't it? If we're all just users, interacting with this unbelievably vast cosmic operating system, then it means our actions, our thoughts, even our intentions, that's the code. That's the program we are writing, every single second of every single day. So maybe the real question isn't, when is justice going to show up? Maybe the real question is, what kind of outcome are you programming for yourself?